Okay, wow. So, first off, I'd like to personally thank each and every one of you for being here today. You know, I think we all like to be out watching Star Wars right now, but you're here, and that's good. And of course, I thank you for your nomination to be your student speaker. And as our fair dean was saying, I think it's safe to say that none of us could have made it this far without the faculty, our instructors, our friends, and especially our family. And it's quite the honor to have this opportunity to reminisce with you guys about some of my experiences at AI and talk about some of the most memorable moments. I won't take too long, I promise. So for as long as I can remember, I have been blessed with the knowledge of knowing what I wanted to do for my entire life. From a really young age, I've always been precariously perched in front of the television, aka the world's best babysitter, second only to Nigel. But I was in front of the TV and I was completely entranced by cartoons and what I saw. The stories, characters, humor, all that stuff really resonated in me, and I absorbed it all like a sponge. And before long, I started looking into how animations, cartoons, and stuff were made, and I knew that I had found my life calling. So fast forward after high school, it took some time and working at every miserable job imaginable for me to finally get up the courage to pursue my dream of becoming an animator. So I chose to further my education through the art institutes in hopes that they would introduce me to the industry standard of what's expected in my job field anymore. And I've learned a lot about my career on my own time, but I knew there was still a lot I had to learn. And as of April 2012, I was a full-time student at Art Institute of Ohio's Cincinnati. So before then, I hadn't really met an abundance of people who knew a lot about cartoons and stuff like that. But as soon as I started here, I was suddenly surrounded by many like-minded individuals, and it was invigorating, to say the least. So, and I admit, I was shy my first year. I don't know if any of you guys remember, I had like really long curly hair and stuff. It was kind of ridiculous. But I eventually learned to open up and start making connections and friends. And there was just something about being in a stimulating, creative environment that made me want to, work harder and make all my dreams happen. And then not long after that, I was presented with the opportunity to become president of the school's animation club. And that was kind of my first foray into like a leadership type role. And just some of the things that I did during my presidency was setting up a meeting with the Bill Plimpton, if you guys know who that is. It was a Skype. He was a busy person, but we had him talk with our animation club that day. And then I would have meetings dedicated solely to the unique aspects and jobs that you would find in our respective career path. And, for character design, storyboarding, stuff like that. But that was when I really felt like I started to get to know a lot of you guys. And work kind of became like play at that point. And from all that, we had our cool, tightly knit group of people who gave birth to the madness that is the Hattie-mobile, and Antonio, and now the welcome wagon. So I can say that my years spent here at the Art Institutes have, without a doubt, been the best in my life. Not because of anyone or anything in particular, but because it was the start of something bigger for me. It was the perfect tool to sharpen and hone my skills to get them ready for the jobs that I want in my industry. And I proved that in November of this year when I was offered a job at a humble animation company in Cincinnati called Flaming Medusa Studios, which I still work today, making cartoons and whatnot. And it was nothing short of amazing how easy it was to just jump right in and know how they did things. I was already used to pretty much how they ran their tight ship. And that was really surprising to me. And like I said, it's just the beginning. So there's going to be a lot more after this. So in closing, I would just like to take this moment to say how much of an honor it has been to work alongside all of you. Like family, I've seen you grow into who you are today. And I have no doubt that we will all find our place out there in the world in our respective jobs and what have you, and I personally can't wait to see where we all end up. And I have nothing but the utmost admiration for all of you. And I wish you all the very best. Thank you.